While everyone's busy debating who's the next big thing, an 18-year-old kid from Brazil is quietly becoming a monster at Stamford Bridge. And mate, if you're sleeping on Estêvão Willian, you're about to miss something absolutely frightening. Picture this. You're barely legal to vote, you've just left everything you know in Brazil, and suddenly you're thrust into the most brutal physical league on planet Earth. Most teenagers would crumble, right? Not this kid, not Estêvão. This boy's different, and there's something scary brewing at Chelsea that nobody's really talking about yet. Let me paint you the full picture of what's happening right now at Stamford Bridge because trust me, this story is wilder than you think. The journey nobody expected. When Chelsea splashed €34 million with another $23 million in add-ons to bring Estêvão from Palmeiras in July of 2025, there were whispers that maybe they'd overpaid for potential. After all, this was an 18-year-old coming straight from the Brazilian league to one of the toughest competitions in world football. The kid hadn't even celebrated his birthday properly before being thrown into the deep end of English football. But here's where it gets absolutely mad. While everyone expected him to need a season to adapt, to maybe get some cup games and occasional substitute appearances, Estêvão said, "Nah mate," and just started balling. He made his debut against Crystal Palace, got his first start in a 5-1 demolition of West Ham where he assisted Enzo Fernandez, and then scored a stunning 95th minute winner against Liverpool. Yeah, you read that right, against the champions, in the dying seconds of the match. That Liverpool goal, that wasn't just any goal. It was described by The Athletic as a stunning late winner that condemned the reigning champions to a third straight defeat. The composure, the positioning, the ice-cold finish, this wasn't a lucky tap-in. This was a statement. This was an 18-year-old kid announcing to the entire Premier League, "I'm here and I'm not intimidated by anyone." The numbers don't lie. Now let's talk stats because this is where things get properly scary. Estêvão has bagged 3 goals and 2 assists in all competitions for Chelsea. But here's the kicker. He's done that while being rotated and eased into the team. He hasn't even been playing full matches consistently yet. Against Ajax in the Champions League, he scored from the penalty spot and became Chelsea's youngest ever Champions League goal scorer at 18 years and 181 days old. He literally broke the record that Mark Yu had set just 20 minutes earlier in the same match. How mental is that? But it's not just about the goals. The lad averages 3.7 successful dribbles per 90 minutes, the highest of any Chelsea player. Let that sink in for a second. In a team full of established internationals and experienced attackers, this teenager who's been in England for barely 3 months is the best dribbler at the club. Jamie Gittins, the next closest winger, is on 1.7. That's not even close. He's also averaging 1.4 shots per 90 minutes, showing he's not afraid to have a go. And here's where we need to address the elephant in the room. Yes, the kid can be selfish, but you know what? That's exactly what you want from an 18-year-old forward. Let's be real for a minute. Estêvão wants to score. He shows it. His body language screams it. Every time he gets the ball, you can see him thinking, "Can I shoot from here?" And honestly, that's not a problem. That's the feature, not a bug. His expected goal stats, XG, show he produces 0.54 XG per 90 minutes, level with Enzo Fernandez. For context, that's elite attacking output for someone who's still finding his feet in the league. The kid's taking shots, creating chances, and most importantly, he believes he can score every single time he touches the ball. You know who else was called selfish at 18? Cristiano Ronaldo. Thierry Henry, pretty much every great forward ever. That confidence, that borderline arrogance when you're on the ball, you can't teach that. Either you've got it or you don't. Estêvão's got it in spades. Watch him play and you'll see it. He dribbles with speed and skill, he's not afraid to get stuck in, and he loves taking on defenders. There's a fearlessness about him that's genuinely terrifying for opposition defenders. He's playing like he belongs, like he's been doing this his whole life at the top level. Maresca's master plan. Here's where this story gets absolutely wild. Enzo Maresca, the Chelsea's manager, isn't just throwing darts at a board hoping something sticks. He's got a proper vision for Estêvão, and it follows in the footsteps of a certain Cole Palmer. Maresca revealed that Estêvão reminds him of Cole Palmer when he was at Manchester City's under-23s. Think about that comparison for a second. Cole Palmer is currently one of the best players in the Premier League, a generational talent who's carrying Chelsea on his back, and Maresca sees Estêvão walking the exact same path. The Italian manager explained, "I think Cole's path has been similar to Estêvão's path in terms of starting wide as a winger, and then slowly, you can move inside. The Premier League is completely different compared to other countries in the world. If you want to play in the middle, you need to be physically prepared." This is massive. Maresca isn't seeing Estêvão as just another winger. He's seeing him as a future number 10, a playmaker who can dictate games from the middle of the park. The same transformation Palmer made from winger to central creator is the blueprint for Estêvão's development. Before making his professional debut at Palmeiras, Estêvão was tearing it up as a 15-year-old, playing in the under-17s as a number 10. So this isn't some mad experiment. It's going back to his roots, his natural position where he can influence games even more. Imagine this, a future Chelsea with Palmer and Estêvão interchanging in the middle, both capable of playing centrally or wide, both with the vision, technique, and goal threat to tear teams apart. That's not a pipe dream anymore. That's the actual plan. And it's absolutely frightening for the rest of the Premier League. The confidence of a superstar. What separates good young players from potential world beaters? Confidence. And brother, Estêvão is absolutely dripping with it. In training, he scored an incredible goal directly from a corner kick, drawing exclamations from his teammates, and when challenged to repeat it, confidently replied, "I finished on top." That's not cockiness, that's self-belief at its finest. Speaking about his adaptation to English football, Estêvão said, "I've adapted a lot quicker than I thought I would, thanks to the manager, the coaching staff, and all my new teammates." Most 18-year-olds in a new country would be intimidated. Not this kid. He's embraced it, owned it, and is thriving under the pressure. The scary part? He's only going to get more confident. Every goal, every assist, every successful dribble is building this foundation of belief that's going to make him unstoppable. We're watching a superstar in the making right in front of our eyes. Not afraid of the moment. Here's what really sets Estêvão apart from other talented youngsters. He's not scared. Not from big defenders, not from massive stadiums, not from crucial moments. From minute 1 against Bayer Leverkusen in his debut, he dazzled with his ability on the ball and confidence when driving at defenders. When given the chance to take a penalty against Ajax in the Champions League after Enzo Fernandez selflessly handed him the ball, he admitted he didn't expect it, but stepped up and buried it without hesitation. That's the mentality you need at the highest level. No fear, just execute. Most teenagers in that position would be bricking it. The pressure of the Champions League, the weight of expectations, your first major competition goal, all of that would be running through your head. Not Estêvão. He just slots it home like he's done it 1,000 times before. The physical development. Now let's address something important. Maresca mentioned that Estêvão needs to be physically prepared before moving permanently into that central role. The manager acknowledged that Palmeiras needed time to develop physically, and he sees Estêvão exactly the same way. Fair enough. At 18, coming from Brazil to the meat grinder that is the Premier League, there's gonna be an adjustment period. But here's what people are missing. The physical demands of the Brazilian league are already standing the 18-year-old in good stead as he acclimatizes to English football. This isn't some lightweight kid who's gonna get bullied. Yeah, he might need to add some muscle, but he's already showing he can handle the physicality. He's not shying away from challenges. He's not going missing when things get tough. The foundation is there. It's just about building on it. The comparisons are getting scary. When you're 18 and people are comparing you to Lionel Messi and Neymar, that's when you know you've got something special. Estêvão has been compared to both legends, originally using the nickname Messinho as an homage to Messi due to similarities in their playing styles. The comparisons aren't just about flair or skill moves. He's been praised for his maturity, his reading of the game, and his decision-making, which are considered precocious for his age. That's the scary part. He's got the flair and the football IQ. That combination at 18, that's how you build a Ballon d'Or winner. Maresca himself said, "I feel very lucky to be his coach because it's exciting, you can enjoy. I've said many times that I think the fans pay their tickets to see players like Cole Palmer, like Estêvão, this kind of player. When your manager is putting you in the same breath as Cole Palmer already, that tells you everything you need to know." The records keep tumbling. Let's recap the madness because it's easy to lose track. He became the youngest player to assist in the Premier League for Chelsea at 18 years and 120 days old, one record down. He became Chelsea's youngest ever Champions League goal scorer at 18 years and 181 days old. Another one bites the dust. He became the third youngest penalty scorer in Champions League history behind only Bohan and Lamine. Keep going. He became the second youngest Brazilian Champions League goal scorer of all time behind only Real Madrid's Endrick. The list just keeps growing. And you know what's mental? He's doing all this at 18 in a new league, in a new country, without even being a guaranteed starter. Last season in Brazil, he scored 12 goals and provided 5 assists in 37 matches for Palmeiras. That's impressive, but it's not earth-shattering. What he's doing now? This is different. He's performing at a higher level against better opposition in a more demanding league, and he's getting better with every single match. Here's the scary truth that nobody's really grasping yet. Estêvão is doing all of this at 18, in a new league, in a new country, without even being a guaranteed starter. Last season in Brazil, he scored 12 goals and provided 5 assists in 37 matches for Palmeiras. That's impressive, but it's not earth-shattering. What he's doing now? This is different. He's performing at a higher level against better opposition in a more demanding league, and he's getting better with every single match. The confidence is growing, the understanding with his teammates is developing, and his body is adapting to the Premier League's intensity. The really frightening part? We're watching the origin story unfold in real time. This is the chapter in the documentary where people will look back and say, that's when we knew. That Liverpool goal, that Champions League penalty, those dribbles that leave defenders on their backsides. These are the moments that define a career. Maresca has already indicated that Estêvão is playing wide now, but in the future, he thinks he's more of an inside player. The plan is clear. Develop him as a winger, bulk him up physically, teach him the tactical discipline needed for the Premier League, and then unleash him as a number 10 where he can truly dominate games. The future is bright. Terrifyingly bright. Look, let's cut through all the hype and get to the real talk. Chelsea have got themselves a genuine superstar in the making. Not a prospect, not a talent, a future world beater who's already showing he can perform at the highest level. The combination of his skill, confidence, work ethic, and football intelligence is rare. Add in Maresca's clear vision for his development and the fact that he'll be learning from and playing alongside Cole Palmer, and you've got a recipe for something absolutely special. What makes Estêvão scary isn't just what he's doing now, it's what he's going to become. In 2 years, when he's filled out physically and has 2 full seasons of Premier League football under his belt, when he's making that transition to the number 10 role and orchestrating attacks from the middle of the park, he's going to be unstoppable. Opposition managers are going to have nightmares trying to figure out how to stop both Palmer and Estêvão in the same team. Do you double up on Palmer? Great, Estêvão will tear you apart. Focus on Estêvão? Palmer will punish you. It's a no-win situation, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful to watch if you're a Chelsea fan. The truth nobody's talking about. Here's the scary truth that's flying under everyone's radar. While the football world is obsessed with the next Haaland or Mbappe, while everyone's debating who's the best young talent in Spain or France, an 18-year-old Brazilian kid is quietly putting together performances that suggest he could be better than all of them. He's brimming with confidence and has already become one of Chelsea's most potent attacking threats despite limited minutes. That's not an exaggeration. That's not hype. That's the reality of what we're witnessing every single week. The boy's got ice in his veins, fire in his belly, and magic in his boots. He's taking on defenders twice his size without blinking. He's shooting from distance with both feet. He's making runs that seasoned professionals would be proud of. And he's doing it all with a smile on his face, like this is exactly where he belongs. You know what the scariest part is? He probably knows something we don't. He probably knows this is just the beginning, that he's capable of so much more, that once everything clicks fully, the Premier League won't know what hit it. Final word? Estêvão Willian isn't just another talented young player trying to make it in England. He's not just another Brazilian wonder kid with potential. He's the real deal, performing at a frighteningly high level already, with a clear pathway to becoming one of the best players in world football. 3 goals, 2 assists might not seem like world-beating numbers until you remember he's 18, he's played fewer than 500 minutes, and he's competing in the toughest league in the world.
Maresca called him humble, polite, and someone who wants to learn, with his family doing a big job in keeping him grounded. So here's the scary truth nobody's noticing. While everyone's looking elsewhere, Chelsea have landed a future Ballon d'Or contender. A player who will make opposing defenders wish they'd chosen a different career. An 18-year-old who plays like a seasoned veteran and believes he can conquer the world. Mark this moment, remember this name, and when Estêvão Willian is lifting trophies and collecting individual awards in a few years' time, you can say you saw it coming. Because the signs are all there. The talent is undeniable. The mentality is unshakable. And the future? The future is absolutely terrifying for everyone who isn't a Chelsea fan. 3 goals, 2 assists, countless hearts broken. One frightening truth: Estêvão Willian is just getting started, and the Premier League should be very, very scared.